This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
On to Tunisia. The country's handicrafts sector has been seriously hit by this pandemic. It's forced more than 40% of operators in that space to shut down, and over 10,000 people have lost their jobs. The North African nation's handicraft sector mainly depends on tourist traffic and spending for survival, but now it faces collapse due to a sharp drop in tourism-related activities amid a second wave of this pandemic. From Tunis, here's CGTN's Adnan Chouachi.
Salah Hamemou represents tens of thousands of craftsmen who work at galleries and shops in different regions across Tunisia. He has witnessed many crises in the handicraft sector since the 1990s. However, Hamemou claims that the current COVID-19 induced economic crisis is unprecedented.
40% of the companies which operate in the handicraft sector went bankrupt and shut down, while 90% of the remaining manufacturing companies are totally blocked. They were forced to lay off or to reduce the number of employees by 70%. Handicraft vendors cannot pay their rent. Some were forced to leave their shops or to switch to another activity.
Suad Kasraoui is a carpet weaver who commercializes in handmade carpets at tourist sites and shops. The craftswoman lost around 95% of her revenue during the first wave of the pandemic. She put her commercial activity on standby and opted for selling traditional food products to earn a living following outbreak of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Selling carpets is impossible during the pandemic. I can no longer live from handicrafts. That's why I turned to selling food to survive. I must adapt or die slowly.
Lotfi Hajali is one of the most talented craftsmen and traditional carpenters in Tunisia. He says foreign tourists as well as local clients have deserted his boutique for several months.
I'm not showcasing these handmade items for passerbys to just watch and admire. I want to sell my creations, but none has come here since the outbreak of the pandemic. This sector is in crisis, and the worst is yet to come.
The president of the Confederation of Handicrafts says the reopening of borders last June 27th dealt a fatal blow to the sector. The increasing number of COVID-19 cases and victims has paralyzed the old market in Tunis and all tourist circuits across the country. Tourism professionals assert that the second wave of the pandemic has undermined the hopes of tens of thousands of craftsmen. The Tunisian Confederation of Industry, Trade and Handicrafts has urged the government to provide financial aid to mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 crisis. Adnan Chouachi, CGTN, Tunis.